Hey guys, Kalindros here. Just wanted to do a quick little channel update. I'm gonna try and do these things every week to try and give you guys an idea of what to expect in the coming week in terms of recaps or reactions and breakdowns and stuff like that. So we'll have some reviews. Let me turn this down a little bit. So, in case you're wondering, that's what you hear in the background is the new Intervals album, Touch and Go. I'm finally getting around to listening to it. It's been on my list. I have this massive backlog of songs that I want to, or albums that I want to listen to, and I just, I get so behind, with work and and now doing this and all the stuff for my D&D game and everything. It's just a lot of times it just becomes very, very difficult to just sit down and listen to music, the way I like to listen to music. So, at some point, that's another thing that I wanted to talk a little bit too about, this sort of week, recap video. So, what we're going to do this week, I've got 4 songs in mind for this week, but there's a possibility of doing more, but there's at least 4 that I want to get to. Witherfall dropped a new song, and Moment of Silence, I believe, is the name of the song. I listened to it once. I'll be doing several more listens before I do a recap or a breakdown of that one. That one will be like a more detailed breakdown video. I also want to do a breakdown and a bit of a reaction too, because I have not watched this version of it. But I'm going to do a breakdown / reaction to Seventh Wonder's Break the Silence, but this is the live version from Atlanta, which I believe was recorded at Progressive Power. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like the same venue that I went to, which is where Prog Power is held every year. That's the same venue I saw Winter Sun at. The stage looked identical. I'm pretty sure that was the same venue. So I'm excited to do that. Break the Silence is one of my favorite, like, pure prog songs, because I feel like, when you look at a band like, say, Dream Theater, they tend to really go overboard with the prog, where one of the things I love about Seventh Wonder is they make songs that are accessible to an extent. I mean, they're still prog, but they're still fairly accessible songs. Break the Silence is a little longer than their typical song. They usually actually do fairly compact songs, while still being, very progressive and highly technical. The real star of the song, and that's why I'm looking to see how it works live, is the bass player, because Seventh Wonder has one of the best bass players out there right now. So that's going to be a really cool one. I also want to do a song by Therion. I haven't really decided. I'm going back and forth between a couple of different ones. So that one is, that one's a little bit up in the air in terms of what song I'm going to do from them. I was leaning more towards Ginnungagap, but I don't know if I want to do that one, because I'm trying to do songs here that are not ones that I'm recommending to other reaction channels. And it's not like it's not that I don't want to cover the same material that other reaction channels are covering. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's that I just, for me, it's a lot of times what I would recommend to a reaction channel is tailored specifically to the channel. So, like, if I recommend a song to, like, Lost in Vegas or to Vin and Sori, it's because that is a song that I think would work best for them, But a lot of times, the songs that I want to react to are songs that are more specifically geared towards me and to what I react to. So I think that one is probably one where I might look for a song that's a little more outside of the box from Therion. I might do Adaruna Rita Vivia, but it's such a long song. I didn't really want to do like an 18-minute song, this week, but we'll see. And then I was thinking about like other bands that like are my favorite bands, and the one that I definitely am going to do this week, and this is one where I did actually, I would recommend this song I would recommend this song particularly towards Venensori, which is a song by Pain of Salvation called Idioglacia. The reason for that is there's two completely different reasons, right? For me, it's one of their really progressive but also very heavy. It has a lot of cool guitar work in it. But for a channel like them, the focus on the lyrics would be highly rewarding, because that song is like quite a few of the other Pain of Salvation songs is deeply, deeply personal, and pretty difficult to listen to. I mean, it's Daniel's stuff is pretty intense, so it's that one's going to be cool. So those are the four that I'm looking at for this week. There might be like a surprise one in there, and I always try and leave room for if there's like a sudden release of a new song from a band that I like. That might be something to do as a reaction. And reactions are a little easier for me because I don't need to spend as much time breaking the song down, because it's impossible. I can't particularly a song like the Witherfall song, or Idioglacia, or some of these other songs. I don't know. Therion is usually not too technically crazy, so that one should be a fairly quick one for me to break down. But Seventh Wonder, man, I mean, those three songs alone are going to be very time consuming, because I got to go through and break down a lot of the musical changes and stuff. So those ones are going to be pretty in-depth ones. But the Therion song, depending on what I end up doing, could be one of my shorter reactions, and so we'll see. I'm trying to figure out what song I'm going to do from them, so that'll kind of be the midweek surprise. But I like the idea of going through every week and saying, okay, so this is what we're going to do this week, right? This is what people can look forward to. And then there might be some surprises thrown in. And one of the things that I want to do, because I've had some people ask me, because I mentioned about, being an audiophile and really being into, like, music quality. So, like, people have asked me about, like, speakers and things like that. And I was in that industry, so, I might talk a little bit about what my listening room setup is. And I call it listening room. It's actually this little space you see right here. There's a little half wall right behind me. This, in some of the apartments facing out, this is actually a patio. For this one, it's like a kind of a sunroom sort of setup. So, this little area here became not just my computer area, but also over on the other side of the wall here is my listening setup. And separate from my home theater setup, like having that's like a whole different sort of type of system. I have my turntable here, my two tower speakers, my integrated amp, my CD changer. Those are all part of the listening setup. And then the home theater setup is all attached to TV and totally different. So I might talk a little bit about some just basic speaker recommendations and setup, and one thing that people often neglect is how to properly break in a pair of speakers and stuff like that. So and also, doing a little bit of a gear rundown. Obviously, I can't really do a rundown. I can't show my amp because it's big and it's heavy. But I can talk a little bit about my amplifier and my guitars. I have 4, and because people have asked about the guitars before, so and you see them in the thumbnails, but you don't see them really in the background at all. So I think maybe in my first video, my channel announcement video, there's one of my guitars is in the background. So those are some things that I don't know if those will be this week or whenever. It just depends on my time. I have some extra time off this week, so it's a light schedule for me this week. I had a bunch of PTO time to burn, so I probably will be able to knock out some more stuff beyond what I usually would be doing. I think what you can really expect going forward is about 4 videos a week. It's difficult for me to do more because of how much time I have to spend to break down a song, and I think it's different than most other reaction channels because, for one, my videos are very long, and that's not something that's ever going to change. I'm sure people will, once the channel starts to grow more and I'm getting more subscribers, and for those of you who have subscribed, I really want to thank you. I think a lot of those people came from Vin and Sori, or people who are friends from Twitch. So big thank you to you guys for subbing up. But I'm not going to really change the way I approach breaking down these songs and stuff like that. And then obviously as things go on, I'm sure people will be like, oh, you need to do shorter songs, whatever. And I know that's the general YouTube reaction channel, but like I said in the first video I did, this is not a reaction channel. This is more of a breakdown channel. I will be doing some of the reactions, and I've done one already, but that's really not the focus for the channel. This is more like music appreciation. So that's going to be what we're all about here, and hopefully as we grow the channel, things like better camera, which I believe me, I would love to have a better camera. This is the best webcam. I mean, there's a new one that just came out that's better than this one, but at the time this was the best web camera you could get. My audio setup I think is pretty good. I've got a Blue Yeti, which is a pretty good microphone. I upgraded from when I was streaming on Twitch, I had a Snowball for many years, and they're okay, but they don't capture a lot of vocal nuance and stuff like that. So I've got a Yeti with a pop filter on it, and so that's kind of what I have now. And I don't know that the audio side will change, but I would love to get a better camera, and so more production value. But the part of the problem with the production value side of it is, I know music really well, but I am like shit when it comes to doing like artistic stuff. Like it's a huge effort for me to make these thumbnails. Those little thumbnails that you click on those, that they take me like 20 minutes to do. I'm sure it's very simple for some of you guys who are artistically minded, but it's not really a thing that I'm good at. So I do what I can with that, and so maybe down the road those will be some of the things that we can upgrade. But just wanted to give you guys a quick little channel update, and expect one of these every week. A little shorter. This was kind of an intro, sort of, to how we're going to address things going forward. So that's it for now. I will be uploading some videos, certainly at least one tomorrow, probably, maybe 2. It depends. I got a very long day tomorrow, so but I want to do at least one, and then I'm off the next day. So you between tomorrow and on Wednesday, you should expect to see a couple. And then at the end of the week, I'll be putting out a bunch of stuff. So, that's kind of the way it's going to shake down for this week. So, that's it, guys. Stay metal. And if you really like, just as a little thing, if you really like instrumental, metal and stuff like that, really check Intervals out, man. These guys are killer, and not a lot of people know about them. It's a band like Scale the Summit that I'm gonna try and be doing a breakdown of down the road. I wanted to do stuff where I could dig into things a little bit lyrically as well to kind of get things started, but who knows? That might be one that a surprise one that I throw in this week. If I have extra time. I'd love to get up to the point where I could do 7 videos a week, like basically a one a day, even if they may not all be uploaded the same day, basically once a day, which would put me at a content pace beyond a lot of other reaction channels, because I would say, when you look at reaction channel output, most reaction channels, like the guys from Las Vegas and stuff, are doing maybe 1 or 2 reactions a week, occasionally maybe maybe 3 or 4 a week, but I think the Vinny and Sori are like the exceptions. To be doing 2 a day is pretty insane. There's not a ton of bands out there doing that. And speaking of that, by the way, if they see this, congratulations, you guys, for the baby. That's going to be awesome. But and also going full time. So, congrats to you guys on that. I hope you're able to really make a go of the full time. I know it's tough. I have a lot of friends from Twitch. I've been doing the Twitch thing for 7 years, and a lot of people I know tried for several years before they were able to actually transition to full time. It's not an easy thing. So, when you're in this sort of space, a YouTube, Twitch, it's difficult to know whether or not you can make enough money, to really leave your career. A lot of people are passionate about doing it, but at the end of the day, you got to make money to be able to live. And if you have a family, especially 5 kids, you need to be able to support them. So, especially with another kid on the way, so it's a lot, and anyways, I wanted to just kind of throw that out at the end there, because they made that announcement yesterday, so I was really happy for them. So that's it. I will see you guys later this week, and I think probably probably on Tuesday will be when we hit up the Witherfall song, because like I said, that's going to be a longer song, and it's a fairly complex song as well. I'm not sure if it's as bad as Nobody Sleeps Here, but there's a lot to dig into with that song. I'll also have to create a lyric thing for that one too, because I don't think there's no lyric video yet for it. So I'll have to kind of basically figure out all the lyrics on my own, like I did with Ode to Despair. So have a good one, guys. Stay metal. Calendros out.